What's good, y'all? We are back with another episode of Diallo Podcast. I'm your host, Big Rilla, and today we got a very special guest in the building. My man, my brother, Baba Sol, man. Say what's up to the people, brother.
What's happening, folks? How y'all doing out there?
How you feeling, bro?
Sure, man. I'm coolin', man. It's a good Sunday, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Smooth. Are you feeling balanced? You know what I'm saying? Everything good?
Very balanced, man.
Yeah,
Very balanced, man.
Okay. So we brought you in so we gon' kind of like get a base of who you are, you know what I'm saying, and get into what you do. You know, just have a good little conversation, you know what I'm saying? For sure. So who is Baba Sol? For people that's watching, who is Baba Sol? Give us that real quick.
Well, you know, essentially, Baba Sol is just a soul. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I like that.
You know what I mean? Before I got the title Baba Sol, I was just a soul. You know what I'm saying? It came about as me being an artist, and it was spelled Justa. You know what I mean? Then soul. My pops, his name is Solo. You know what I mean? They used to always call me Lil Solo. I just took the O off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause there was this thing where I was like, I look just like my dad, but I ain't want to be like him. So I was like, let me just do this. You know what I'm saying? Be a little rebel. You know what I mean? So I did that, and then as I basically, that's the title though. You know what I mean? But
for sure.
For anybody that knows me though, it very much so encompasses my energy though. You know what I'm saying? The sun is somebody or something that always sharing, you know what I'm saying, giving back, you know what I mean, doing the best to touch on everything it can, you know what I mean, and really don't ask for too much, you know, back, other than just some rest at times, you know what I'm saying. So when I had my daughter, you know what I mean, I became Baba Sol, you know what I'm saying, because Baba means a father. A lot of people think it's, you know, in the Ifa sense that I may be an Ifa priest, but in a sense, I'm not Ifa, but I am of priestly nature, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all of these things come together. But I'm a brother from Decatur. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight from the streets, but I'm also a country boy, man. I grew up hunting, fishing, you know what I mean? Trapping, you know, animals and weed, crack, all kind of different things like that. You know what I'm saying?
They got to it all, man. Yeah.
And
for sure.
I just been on a journey in life that has brought me through different healing modalities where I feel like I can help anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
not just people in the street, but anybody.
So like you went into ethnobotany. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Ethnobotany.
Ethnobotany.
Yeah.
Okay. And for people who will be watching, because I'm gonna highlight that. What is ethnobotany? Botany.
Well,
yeah.
Ethnobotany is basically the study between the nature of people and plants over time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like if you think about any indigenous tribe, they didn't have no kind of like teacher or school they went to learn how to use certain plants as medicine. But we all know that our medicine comes from plants, you know, even the synthetic medicine, all prescription drugs.
Derived from plants.
Exactly, you know what I mean? So, but that means that somebody had to know about these plants, and a lot of times people don't know, but the ethnobotanist is that person that kind of like the middleman between the tribes and modern technology or information, you know what I'm saying, and modern medicine. And so like what the ethnobotanist does is goes and talks to these people, you know what I'm saying?
Break it down to
and learn about it from the tribes or from the people in the land. And even right now, your great-great-grandmama, you know what I'm saying? She might know something about some of the stuff that's growing around here. I want to talk to her, you know what I'm saying? And that's the type of things that I do. I travel and I just go talk to different people that are closest to nature in those different regions and learn about their medicine, you know what I mean, from that perspective, not just trying to read it in a book or going and to a store and just buying herbs. Like I don't even buy a lot of medicine anymore. You know what I mean?
You go forage for it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like what drove you in that direction? Or like, okay, so did it start in Decatur? Like where did it all start at?
Now, what you mean, like
the ethnobotany? Just the relation with you and plant medicine, just going out foraging and all that stuff?
Oh, man, it started when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an only child. So, like, when I was growing up, I used to always just be out in nature. You know what I'm saying? And I used to go hunting with my granddad. And a lot of times, while he was hunting, you know what I'm saying, I would be just looking at and just wild by how much nature had to, how much it had to offer. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the times when we was just, like, tracking through the woods and not out with the guns, you know what I'm saying, I would have fun just, like, tracking different animals and stuff, looking at all these different plants and all of that. And then as I grew up, I just got into the streets, which kind of took me away from the whole nature aspect. But then I got older and I went through like an awakening process basically. And I learned about the body and I started healing myself.
So what happened to make, like what was that awakening process? Like, what was it? Like, was it being in the streets, having a bad situation? Like,
a bad situation. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about it. If you willing to go that deep, man, talk to me.
Well, I'm from County Road, you know what I'm saying? Grew up doing a lot of crazy things. And one day, I was with my partner, and we went to the west side. We ain't from east side, niggas don't mess with the west side from where I come from. You know what I'm saying? We used to stay where we was. You know what I mean? Can I cuss on here?
Yeah, you good.
I just making sure, cause I ain't know. You
be
know?
real, for sure. I want you to be the real. Come on.
But yeah, you know, east side niggas didn't really go out like that when you were a teenager. We stayed right where we was. We was going to Lithonia, you know what I'm saying? We might go to Conyers a little bit, you know what I mean? But, you know, Bankhead and all that was only for the females, you know what I mean? But other than that, we ain't mess around. But my partner was like, man, I got to go to my grandma's house over there. And so I took him, and we got caught in a roadblock, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And, you know, I went to jail. And when I went to jail, it was real, like a very pivotal moment for me because I was like in this space of going into the music industry really heavy, you know what I'm saying? Like I was, like me and my cousin, we had a group back then, we were actually making a lot of noise for a little bit and then, but when I got locked up, it just ripped the group apart, you know what I'm saying? Cause like we had a show that same night, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so like they was like, well, my name was Slick T back then. That's why I got the tattoo right there, you know what I'm saying? Sure. So they were like, man, what's Slick at? I know they was, you know what I'm saying? When I got out of jail, they was like, bro, we trying to figure out what happened, bro. You just messed up everything. I was like, yeah, that's what happened, you know what I'm saying? So like, after I got out of jail or whatnot, I was on house arrest for a long time, but I was going to audio engineering school. And I met this brother online. There was Nawapianism. You ever heard of Nawapians? So Malachi York?
No, I haven't.
Okay, Malachi so like York. Malachi York, he started this movement in like the early 80s, well, the late 80s, Nawapians. And he had this place down here in Georgia called the Egypt of the West. He called it Tamaray, right? And this was 10 minutes away from my family's land in Edenton. If you keep going past Conyers, Edenton, Georgia's that way. I got 90 acres out there right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So like that's where I grew up hunting and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But every time I used to go back to the country, we would see pyramids and obelisks and people just out there. He had a whole little compound. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so like, but I didn't know nothing about him. I just be drawn to it. Yeah. And my granddad used to be like, nah, we ain't going out there with them crazy people, dude, whatever. So, anyways, the brother on the internet, he used to send me pages of the scrolls that Malachi York wrote. He wrote books. He wrote like over 1,000 books. And the way he would write these books was from right to left instead of left to right.
Like top of what about? Was it about like the
everything, like the way the body work, religion, aliens, spirituality, everything. Like this dude broke down everything, so he captivated a lot of minds, and he was taking people. He was teaching about all the different religions. You know what I'm saying? Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then saying how they all really came from, you know,
one thing.
The Anunnaki. You know what I'm saying? Okay. The Anunnaki. But you know, if you keep going back, it's Zoroastrianism. You know what I'm saying? Where the whole good and evil battle come from. But anyways, stay on subject. Malachi York, he was all about health, and you know, he changed me to get on like changing the body and stuff. So that's when I became vegan. at that time, you know what I'm saying?
So you became vegan way back before.
When I was 19, you know what I'm saying? I became vegan when I was 19.
What was that transition like from going like? So basically, you got locked up. That gave you a pivotal moment to kind of like, all right, which way I want to go.
Sit down, basically.
Sit down and come into yourself some more. And
somebody started guiding me.
And somebody came and guided you. And
he started giving me books to read.
And then okay.
And then my teacher in audio engineering school, he was a Nawapian too. You know what I'm saying? So
he basically aligned with
everything. So then he started giving me books. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I just started learning about meditation and herbs, and that's when it just
lined up.
Yeah.
Like in other words, basically the whole process of you was more organic too. But you had that little situation where it was like, all right, we're gonna sit you down real quick because we pick which way you want to go. You probably could have came out and still dived into like whatever you was finna get into, but you still do music, right?
Yeah, I do.
But you definitely, I think, but you decided to go this way first and then come back to music, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I never stopped doing music. Actually. I kept doing it.
Yeah. Okay. So like, what was that like when you made that transition, the switch up from eating however you was eating to vegan back then? I don't think it was a trend back then. I know it's more of a trend now to be plant-based and vegan and all that. But back then, what was that like for you?
Back then, it was very much so a struggle. You know what I'm saying? Because there weren't many options. You know what I mean?
What did you eat?
Man, I was eating tofu and eating plant-based stuff. Like there was a restaurant off of Covington Highway, right, called Vegetarian Paradise, and they used to make they veggie burgers out of sea moss, and they used to use cocoa bread and all that. Shouts out to Vegetarian Paradise. Lamar doing they now. I forgot what the name of his restaurant now, but hey, I'm gonna give you the information probably later.
We're gonna put them in the bottom in the description for sure.
But I think it's called Happy Juice or something like that. But they down in Canton, Smyrna, Georgia or something now. He done went out there with them folk.
Oh,
but
damn, okay.
They shut down in the pandemic, but they used to always be somewhere I used to go. And then I wasn't really cooking for myself back then, so I used to eat like them all the time. And then I used to go to Chelsea's and all that kind of stuff. But then I learned how to cook raw. And I ran into a lot of people that was already eating vegan, and I just learned a lot about eating vegan for myself. And then I became a chef, you know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah, that's crazy how so on your journey, like I was just telling you earlier, like when you aligning with certain purpose, everything kind of just come to you. That's because from what I'm hearing, everything just kind of came to you. Like, I mean, you made that decision to go the way you did. Yeah. And since then you starting to find people that align with your tribe and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
So like, it's crazy how that works like that though, bro. Like in the time, did you think of it like that though? Like think of it being like, damn, all these people aligning with me, or you just kind of was just living, so you just kind of going through it?
Yeah, I was just kind of living and going through it, but a thing I will say is that I visualized a lot about my life. You know what I'm saying? I visualized, like, in that time where I was locked up, in that time that I was on house arrest and stuff, I learned about meditation, and I would actually, like, go through, I would sit in meditation for hours. Like, I was really, like, like, I was... Cause I ain't had no choice, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I went to a space where I was like, see the way I wanted my life to be, you know what I'm saying, before I was even there. And I will say that I attribute that my life now to all of that mental work I did back then.
Then you did the groundwork now.
Yeah, because there's no difference between then and now, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Like everything is really just simultaneously happening, you know, it just... What timeline are we gonna actually adjust to? You know, it's a frequency, I feel.
Well, like, let's go deeper into that frequency. You said that it's a frequency. Explain that when you say that, just so people can understand when they listen. I want them to pick up what you're putting down. You feel what I'm saying? So explain that.
Well, you know, your brain is a receiver. You know what I'm saying? It's an antenna. You know, that's why I got two hemispheres to it like that. And so, like, I feel like the brain can attune itself to certain realities, you know, if you just keep on seeing yourself there. We are magnets for the things that we can draw to ourselves or repel from ourselves, you know what I mean? So,
like, basically, if you align with it, like, if you're doing the work, you know what I'm saying, along with the thought process and aligning your mind to what you want and the things around you, it'll come. That's like, that's what you're saying, right?
You gotta see it to believe it.
Yeah, for
or
sure.
What they say, as a man thinketh, so be it. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta have that already in your mind. It gotta be a strong, strong thought. You know, before I knew this, but I knew that you have to focus on that stuff. But I learned also that if you're able to focus on a thought for 20 minutes, at least you can bring it into this world. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people's attention ain't at that point where they can actually focus on anything for 20 minutes. I just watched this movie about this dude who learned about this guy who could see with his eyes closed, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and he was like, it was a rich dude. He had everything he could want in life, but then he learned about this dude who could see with his eyes closed, and he was like, dang, well, that could help me win poker games and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't thinking with the right intention.
But he went in and he learned that this dude was like, he learned the dude's technique. Because the dude taught him what the guru taught him how to do. He learned from a guru how to do it.
Okay.
And the guru basically told him he had to be able to focus on the flame, you know what I'm saying, or focus on something that he could remember for like at least a minute. A lot of people can't hold an actual image in their mind for a whole 60 seconds. So if you're able to do that unwaveringly, you know what I mean, then you can go to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying? And if it goes from that, then you can actually like start to like, that means your third eye is getting really strong. The third eye is able to perceive things other than light, you know what I mean? So it's like, if you can increase that boom, you know what I mean?
Whew. Okay, so you think things help with that though? Like, you know, we gonna get off into the psychedelic shrooms and all that stuff too. But you think are people? Cause I be feeling like some people are actually gifted with doing that without no type of nothing. Right. I've seen that before. Right. Like, cause like even now, like right for me now, like personally on my whole meditation journey, when I met y'all and on forward after that, I started practicing that more. I don't know if you remember Raw. You remember Raw from the council?
You know, I know a bunch of Raws.
He was at that place. But basically, so with him, I was like, I don't really like smoking weed no more. I don't smoke, like, and only because like now I don't know. It's like the feeling that give me. I almost get it by myself without. Yeah, I don't really need it. And mine is the whole extra anxiety because most weed now is grown different now. And I don't the soil that's coming from where I'm getting it from. I just didn't trust it no more. So I understand. Yeah. So like, you think that people need to get that more from like, I mean, how do you suggest a person who's never tapped in, you think they should try to just do a meditation just by itself or try to at least tap in like a microdose or something?
Nah, I definitely, I'm all about subtle energy work. So I would believe that all the things that we feel like we need to put in our body is already there. You know what I'm saying? We just activating certain symptoms. So I definitely believe that people should start off with meditation and pranayama and stuff like that. Because like, when I got locked up, I couldn't smoke. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do all the things I was getting drug tested and all that when I got out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like being on probation for 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't do nothing. You know what I mean? So like I literally, a lot of my music that I was releasing back then, everything I was doing was sober. You know what I mean? I was meditating. When I say for hours, I was actually projecting like it wasn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now I smoke weed and stuff. I can tell the difference between a pure state and then an altered state. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And I can go between all of them, and anybody can. But I definitely feel like people need to learn how to start from the roots and then go from there. Because when you start with meditation and stuff, you know yourself. When you start putting in these plant medicine and stuff, you are opening yourself to, you know, other things, and a lot of manipulation could come from that, and it could be confusing too because you're not really dealing with your subconscious. A lot of times you can't tell the difference between a hallucination and a projection of your subconscious. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't deal with that, I mean, you can't decipher or discern between those things, then you're not going to be able to actually make a proper analysis and assimilate any kind of wisdom into your life. You know what I mean? So it's like, start from where you know yourself first, so that when you go into these states, nothing can like knock you off your square.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's
a lot of people just go into this, and then next thing you know, they got a demon in them. They thinking that it's them and it's not them. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like they're learning themselves. But it's
you learning something totally different.
Yeah.
You said something right there, but you said a lot. So when you in the music though, you say you did music sober. You think your music has changed from your beginning, like from you hopping into Cause you were doing music before you even got into the plant medicine. So you think how was your music from that spot? You was Slick T into Baba Soul. How you think your music had changed from them two?
Man, my music was gangster back then. You know,
But
it was on the
course.
street music, and it was violence and lust and greed based. And when I transitioned from it, a lot of my people was like, man, you fire, you know what I'm saying? Cause they were like, well, you a real lyricist now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you popping.
Yeah, so like I was motivated, and it's now based on affirmations and positivity and spirituality, you know, and nature and stuff like that. It's kind of like folk music, but it's rap, you know what I mean?
Rap folk,
rap, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's hard though.
And it's I experiment a lot, you know what I mean? So like you never know what you're gonna get when you hear my music.
For sure. You think like cause it is rap folk music. I did say that. I was like, cause your vibe is not, it's not like your typical rap music like that we all gonna hear. So like making that kind of music, of course, it's not popular. So what keeps you doing music? That just like your expression of yourself, or you just like do you want to eventually blow with music? Like what is the whole intention behind the music? And I'm asking that because I know your music, bro, is high vibrational music, and they don't push high vibrational music.
Right.
It's not high. Yeah, it don't get pushed.
And you know what's funny is cause I know y'all niggas in the industry know me. I know y'all know me. Cause y'all be copying everything I do. I see it. Y'all just don't know it. I'm Aquarius, man. I'm always like head of the schedule. You know what I'm saying? And that's not me bragging or anything like that, but that's really me learning myself and learning my designs, that things that I do don't necessarily be on time with everybody else. And they usually catch up to it. Everything that I've been doing, talking about, now it's cool. But when I was doing it, it was weird. Cool, it was, you the Illuminati? Nah, and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nowadays, but what I say is, I'm not doing music to get in the industry. You know what I'm saying? I do want my music to thrive independently. You know what I mean? I think there's a niche of people out there that think and operate just as I do, like that are not necessarily all the way spiritual, but all are grounded enough to like be able to be in both worlds. You know what I'm saying? I call my music like bridge music. You know what I'm saying? Where like you could be spiritual, you could be street. You know what I'm saying? And you could just come in and listen to it from any point of view and be like, yeah, I like that. It could just be the beat that catch you, and then the vocals
catch you later on.
You know what I'm saying?
But they still get receiving a good message though.
Yeah,
tricking them into receiving something good.
Right.
That's what I think. Like it's good though. My bad.
Yeah, nah, you good. And I just feel like with that being said, I do music out of the joy of creating new sounds. You know what I'm saying? And like innovating and being like, yeah, I don't think they ever heard nothing like this before. You know what I'm saying? I like making stuff that I can go back and listen to later on and like be like, damn, I said that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I want to make music that's like old school music where it never gets old.
Like timeless.
Yeah, timeless music. Yeah, so it don't really matter if I get a deal or not. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna tell them folk though. You know what I'm saying? Like I know y'all watching me, cause y'all, you know, the stories I could tell you, bro, about like people that I know in the industry and stuff like that. Like it's not like I got people in the industry. You know what I'm saying? And family members and all kind of stuff. They just know I won't go for that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
The industry type of
but you know, I'll work with y'all, you know what I'm saying? But just don't try me. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to be in it. I'll be in it, but not of it type of thing.
That's for real though, man, because you know the stories about the industry, man. And like, I mean, I know people, bro. I done heard stuff and seen stuff.
And
you know what I mean?
It get wicked around that type of time. Yeah, so like, when you doing being an independent artist, like, is there any type of, have you ever had any doubt on your music before? Have you ever, like, you know what I'm saying, setbacks, whatever, like, just as far as like how you felt about music, like you like felt like you want to give it up or what? Like, what was it, any type of thing like that?
No, I ain't never wanted to give up music because like I'm the type, I'm like, music is an adventure for me. You know what I'm saying?
So it ain't
like,
just a job.
Yeah, it's not a job. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, like my cousin, he'll tell me, he told me this. He was like, sometimes you gotta eat some more life so you can shit it out. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you gotta take a break. You know what I mean? Like I had got to a point where I was like, damn, I ain't making no music. You know, I was feeling bad about not making music. I don't really get tired of making music. I just be like, dang, I'm not making any. And
like no time for it.
Yeah, but I always had to give myself a break and be like, you know what? This is just me eating more life so I can shit it out. Because every time I do that, I get to a point where it's like this. Life ebbs and flows, you know what I'm saying? You never going to always be up here. You never going to always be up here. The pendulum always swinging. So you got to get used to coming from here to there and being all right with the velocity and the centrifugal force behind all that kind of stuff. And get used to the momentum, knowing when it's going to switch so you can be ready for the switch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you can enjoy that. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm just okay with the music like that. You know what I mean? Like, it comes and it goes.
Type of thing.
Yeah. It's cool with me.
Whew. All right. So, we got into the music. We're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to get into more of your plant medicine side. Cause you are... I believe you're a master teacher. You know what I'm saying? Because I learned from you at the council. A master's always a student, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I was a student. I was really young in it while listening to you. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm trying to say right now?
For sure.
So, you probably still a student to somebody else. That's, you know, but yeah. So, yeah, as far as the hikes that you do, PlantN Peace, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They taught us about PlantN Peace. I just want to make sure I said it right.
Yeah, PlantN Peace. You know what I'm saying? That's the business that I have curating. I got several things that had to deal with nature. You know what I'm saying? And it first started off as a business called Royalish. You know what I'm saying? Royal Intentional Sacred Healing. But I dissolved that business and created PlantN Peace because I was like, I want to plant more peace. You know what I'm saying? And I started off doing plant walks. I started off doing agricultural movements with a community garden initiative called Scout and Grow. And that was a Search, Conquer, Organize, Unite, Teach. I'm big on acronyms.
For
you know what I'm saying?
I see, you go crazy on acronyms. It's a rapper in them. You know
you know what I mean? And so, like, put that together, I just formed a business based around nature. You know what I'm saying? And because I've always been in the nature my whole life. Like, what do you want to do for your business? I want to be a child. I want to feel like a kid again. You know what I'm saying? I feel like any business that you thrive in, you want to feel like a child. You know what I'm saying? So that everything feels brand new. Everything feels like, you know, it's an adventure for you. You know what I'm saying? You never get tired of it. So, like, everything I do is based on nature. So I'm doing plant walks. I'm teaching children botany now. I got a program called Little Botanists where I'm teaching after school, you know, to children in actual elementary schools. You know what I'm saying? Hard. And so, like, they learning different things, not just foraging, but they also learning why leaves turn yellow. You know, all kind of stuff like that.
Why do leaves turn yellow?
You said why?
Why do they? I don't even know that.
Well, so basically, there's different hormones in plants, right? For sure. There's a hormone in the plant called auxin, and this auxin, it messes with the meristem cells inside of plants, right? So meristem cells are basically like the parts of a plant that grow long and wide. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I have heard that. For
yeah,
sure. Okay,
and so like what happens is that auxin is activated, and then it makes those leaves like pull back on their chlorophyll, right? So the chlorophyll retracts away, and then next thing you know, what you're seeing is carotenes being observed in the leaves, which is the yellows and the oranges, right? And then you got anthocyanins, which is like the purples and the reds and stuff like that. So these are always present in the leaves, but they just not being shown until certain temperatures are activating the auxin in the leaves. So it's actually regulated by the temperature in the atmosphere, and that auxin is a reactive hormone. So it reacts to these to the temperature basically. Yeah.
No, I got everything you said.
Plants all about sex, man. Like they do everything they do is hormone based and procreation based. You know what I'm saying? Like for real.
That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. So you teach them, teach the little kids, the little botanists, and then you said you also got the sweat lodge.
Yep.
So like And I go to the sauna. And I don't know if it's different between the sweat lodge and the sauna, but explain to the people, because people want to know. You know what I'm saying? After this, I'm pretty sure folks going to come holler at you. What is that? Like, what is the sweat lodge? What's the purpose, the benefits, and all that good stuff?
The sweat lodge is basically, there are different types of sweat lodges first. What I have is an Hapé style.
Hapé, what is a Hapé?
The Hapé is when you take young trees and you bend them into like a dome structure. And then you cover them up with cloths. Traditionally, back in the day, they would use animal skins and stuff like that. But we use blankets, canvas material, stuff like that, and tarps. And we cover it all up. We have a pit in the middle of it. It's probably about this size, actually. And it's about like 2 feet deep. And we heat up rocks in a fire outside for like 3 to 4 hours straight. And we bring those rocks in. So the rocks, they are representative of our ancestors, right? And so our ancestors, you gotta think about this. I learned this from a sister. She was telling me that our ancestors all back in the earth. You know what I'm saying? They dead. You know? But our bodies go back into the earth as minerals. You know what I mean? So what happens is over time we get crushed in pressure and heat. We turn into different crystals and different things like that. The main thing we turn into is granite and quartz. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, when you take these stones, you're actually activating, you know, the energy of your ancestors when you heat them up. When they get red hot, you know what I'm saying? They start sparkling and stuff. That's when they activate, you know? So we pour water on them when we bring them inside. It's pitch black in there. So you don't even see yourself. You don't see nobody around you. You know what I mean? Are you, you know, just hearing voices and stuff. And we pouring water, and it gets super hot. And I've been told that it's hotter than a sauna in there. You know what I'm saying? So we probably hitting about 120, 130 sometimes. You know what I mean? And you can hallucinate in there and all kind of stuff. It's crazy. It gets trippy in there.
Definitely gonna have to holler at that. I've been doing the sauna for a while too, though. So like, what I do is like, I know it's definitely not the same, but I had my own little, cause I got introduced to the sauna when I went to my gym and I was living out there in John Creek, and I was like, I need to do this more actually. Like, it's something about it, cause I would notice that I would feel more like at peace going to the sauna. Like someday I go to the gym, I may not work out that day. I literally just make it my objective to go in there and like be hot and sweat, close my eyes, and try to meditate in the sauna with some like essential oils, stuff like that. Like, so I know it ain't the same as that, but. Same type of ideal, right? Like
that experience that you were trying to give yourself, that's what we do there, though.
Okay,
that's what you really need. You know what I mean? Like, that's your ancestors inside of you being like, nah, this ain't the way to do it. We need to add a little bit of natural more elements or whatnot. You know, cut the lights off in here. You know what I'm saying? So you can actually open up a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? But it's very detoxing too, you know what I mean? And going from hot to cold, because it's finna start getting colder. So, like, this is the best time to be doing it, you know what I mean? It's actually making your skin tighter and kicking out so many toxins, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna anti-age you, you know what I mean? It's a great experience to have in your life, and we doing them every other week, you know what I mean? So, like, please pop up on us, bro. Like,
I'm gonna make that.
Make it a regular thing in your life too, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, literally, like, this is what our ancestors done when, you know, the Europeans came over here and they started giving us smallpox and all the different type of liquors and sugars and all that kind of stuff. You know, sugar is just as bad as crack, you know, but they passed that on us, though.
That's the most addictive drug that they don't talk about, though.
They was throwing lumps of sugars in their cups and coming through raping and all that kind of stuff before they did anything. So it's like, we have to get that stuff out of us. And this is the way we do it. And then when we sweat, we're laying right on the earth. We right on the grass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got no carpet in there or nothing like that. You might get bit by an ant, but that be the medicine that you need. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just did one this Friday, man. And, like, literally, I tell you, we was in there. We do 4 rounds. And we bring in 7 stones each time. Each round is like at least 15 to 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? We could go a little longer depending on who's in there. But there was a sister in there, and she told me that she used to do like search and rescues over in like Mexico on the border. Cause she told me there's a certain part of the border where they don't regulate it. So people actually can pass through there if they want to get to the United States.
You just said something like that.
But this place is also known as the largest human graveyard in the world because so many people die trying to go there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like it's valleys and trenches and all kind of different stuff. People be dying on their way through there, so nobody cares to even try to regulate it. You know what I'm saying? But she used to have a job where she used to have to go and try to find the bodies and stuff like that. And so, like, what she told me was she went back to that place because she used to be like 120-some degrees there. Mm-hmm. She said while she was in the lodge, she went back to that place. She was not in the lodge no more. And it reminded her about that. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then I started singing in the lodge because I facilitated. You know what I'm saying? I started singing a song and it brought her back. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
But like this place brings up things that you might have not dealt with in your mind so you can deal with it. It brings up limitations in your mind, helping you break through a lot of different things. You know, it's not only just you sweating, but like it's you rebirthing yourself, you know what I'm saying, to a whole new experience because being in the pitch black in that dome, it represents the womb. You know what I mean? And it's hot and it's humid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you saying
and
something.
And you come out of there, like literally when you come out, it feels like you catching up to your body. Like you're not even in your body no more. It's like you floating the whole time. Yeah.
Damn. Woo-wee. Hey, look, if y'all ain't heard it here, y'all can find me over there. I'm be there. I'm making way around there.
Three feathers, sweat lies. Three feathers. 3 feathers,
sweat lies. Y'all heard it here. We gonna talk some more about that. I want to get into Chief Nighthawk though.
Okay.
So what was your experience like? If y'all don't know who Chief Nighthawk is, well-respected teacher,
Chief Nighthawk,
elder,
man.
show that past transition. What was your experience like with Chief Nighthawk?
Man, I don't really be talking too much about, the relationship between me and him, man. Okay. But I met Chief Nighthawk in my first ayahuasca ceremony about, I want to say like 7 or 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. And he was playing instruments and also helping out with the translation for the shaman. Because the shaman was from South America, you know what I'm saying? He ain't speak no English, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And that ceremony was very life-changing for me.
For sure.
And he played this instrument. It was probably as long as his carpet, bro. It's called the Merlin. Mm-hmm. And it sounded like a harp, though. You ever seen Kung Fu Hustle when they was like ding 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 ding? It's that instrument. Sure. He was playing that during the ceremony, man, and they was singing and stuff. It was just like, and that's when I first met him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then after that, me and him connected more times after that. Mm-hmm. And not in no ceremonies though, you know what I'm saying? But just like linking up, talking and building. Mm-hmm. And then I found out he was an Aquarius like me. So I was like, oh yeah, man, we definitely need to work. You know what I'm saying? So I used to just sit at his foot and just soak up his knowledge, you know what I'm saying? We used to share. I used to bounce thoughts off of him, you know what I'm saying? Sit in his basement with him. And he's the one that I was getting all my Hapé medicine from, you know what I'm saying? He gave me my tools. Okay. You know what I mean? My TP, my Caripe, the box, the cigar box, all of that. That was Chief Nighthawk stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like
the one you gave me the opposite night?
Yeah, that TP that I used, that was Chief Nighthawk's TP.
What?
That was one of his first ones, bro.
That's crazy.
He passed it on to me though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's got a piece of ayahuasca vine on it and a quartz crystal, and it's made out of Palo Santo. You know what I'm saying? And like he ain't had to, you know what I mean? But I asked for it too. I was like, man, so you got you a new? He was like, I usually don't do this, but yeah, you know what I'm saying?
He could have told you like, nah, homie, but
yeah, cause you know what I'm saying. Like everybody want to keep their tools, so you got to be mindful about who you passing your stuff on to, who's gonna actually use it for good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Cause like shamanism is like sorcery. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like. It is sorcery. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You gotta be careful out here. People can take advantage of your energy. Crazy, that's some of the things that me and him talked about. Like how, we was against a lot of some of the things that was going on in the medicine realm and all that kind of stuff, and how we were going to change that and through our own actions and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But that was a lot of the things that we talked about, and just also just like being cool and going through the world, being fathers and medicine men at the same time, and navigating with music and all kind of stuff like that. You know,
what is that like being a father in the medicine world though?
It's intense, you know what I'm saying? Cause it's kind of lonely, cause you can't really like put your family into like the equation like that. You know, a lot of times you gotta leave them out of it. You know what I mean? You can't really involve medicine and family, cause you gotta choose which one you gonna focus on more. Because being a medicine man, you be out here healing everybody. You know what I mean? And your family might need you too. You know what I'm saying? So like that's why I kind of pulled back from doing ceremonies and stuff like that, because I wanted to focus more on being a father and being better in life. Even though I don't got my daughter in my life 100%, I'm still like do my best to be in tune and be better. But when she was living here in Georgia, I couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that because like the mother of my child, she was like, yeah, you always out here in these streets doing this, doing that, helping everybody, but what about us? And I really took that to heart, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dang, you know, I am out here doing all these Reiki healings and out here doing mushroom ceremonies, trying to help people figure out who their father is and stuff like that, they trauma and they issue. Meanwhile, I could be creating a different situation in my own home. And so like with a lot of people don't realize that it's a spin out like that. So it's like you gotta have a real good, that's why most medicine men don't have families, or at least try to keep that to a minimum, you know, or keep them in the dark. You know what I'm saying? Cause like you don't want nobody to know who your child or the mama or auntie, granny, all of them is, you know what I'm saying? Most time them folk living by themselves. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They handle their business, they secretive, they mysterious. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not really too much you know about that person because it's shrouded in darkness. And it's a lonely space.
Wow, that's crazy. So you decide to find a balance and all that though. See, do you think that powers you up more by finding your balance, or you still like is it still taking something from the medicine? Because I mean, I think you can do both. I'm all about duality as far as like you ain't gotta be one thing. I don't believe in one because nobody is. We too intricate to be one type of thing. So you think that powers you up? Cause knowing that, okay, boom, I'm able to take care of what's going on at home. Now I can really come out here and do justice to my people. Yeah, you think that? You think
it's a dance? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's about knowing where to move, how to move. You know what I'm saying? Like I do sweat lodges and I do plant walks. You know what I'm saying? I'm still doing medicine work.
You're still doing your contribution.
Yeah, because I do subtle work now. I'm not doing large ceremonies. I ain't giving nobody no super dosages of anything to have them like out of here for what? That they might not even be able to acclimate themselves to any of the stuff they was experiencing. So why not take them through and start them off young?
And that's just as important though.
It is. That's really the root. You know, like that's what's going to allow them, like I said, to be able to decipher what is right and what's wrong. Not everybody need plant medicine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Some people, shells get cracked. You know what I'm saying? And they come out with all kind of different psychosis. And they not the same. You know what I mean? Some people don't need that. You know, some people just need to go sit up under a tree. And because they're so sensitive to it, that's the medicine they need. Because they might be too sensitive for them to ingest some psilocybin or some bufo or anything, you know what I'm saying? So like I learned that I'm kind of like somebody that can tap into everybody's energy and be like, okay,
this what this person needs. Yeah. That's crazy because I was thinking that same thing though, because I'm like, dude, everything need to be so extreme. Because some people can't take certain stuff. Like some people do. Like how I asked you earlier, like as a person, I know a person that can tap into certain stuff and they don't have to. They'll be so tapped in. They be like, are you high or something? They be no. But you can tell that they in another space. Like like it seems like they are, but they not. Like they ain't on nothing. So it's like for you to say that is like I said, more so confirmation for myself because I was thinking that just as far as like everybody think they need something like this, and I do see people who come into certain, like, taking certain stuff, and I know people always blaming on bad shroom or bad this, bad that, but what if it wasn't bad, but that person just wasn't even fit for, that wasn't for him, or her, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That just made him crack. My brother my brother had a situation with drugs and all psychedelics and all that, and he actually went off another end. It wasn't more like I feel like he was tapped into something, but he was so far gone onto the other side or something like that he wasn't able to, he'll be telling me stuff all the time. Like my mom never like understood that, but like my brother, like, cause he bipolar and he had schizophrenia, but all that stuff came later on with other stuff. And he would tell me all the time, like, whenever he wasn't tripping off about being bipolar and he would be telling me some, like, just, it seemed like it was some real deep, some type of wisdom that come behind, because he'll tell me stuff all the time, like, bro, you know, be careful of such and such over there. This person right here got this type of thing. I'll be like, what? What are you talking about? This person? And then it would come out, like, I remember, like, once he died, so I started seeing stuff more. I'm like, damn, it came out that, not without putting names or nobody out there like that, that person showed their hand. I'm like, whoa. My brother said that, but I'm thinking he was so high off whatever that he wasn't. That I'm like, man, you just talking. Yeah. But everything came later, and then the way he worded everything, and the fact that he was so spontaneous, like not, I don't know what sporadic. That's the word, sporadic. But like he would just be, cause he'll say something wild, you be like, oh, that's some wild. Then he'll flip off and go somewhere else. You be like, he went from talking wild to talking about some hoe, you know what I'm saying, some females or something like that. So you know what I'm saying, it was just so sporadic. So it was hard. So I said all that to say that what you said was confirmation as far as like. Some people ain't meant for that. It cracked their shell. Yeah. And everything like that. Have you ever had somebody crack their shell before? With you? Not like, I ain't gonna.
You talking about with me, or have I been around it?
Been around it.
Oh yeah, I've been around. You know, when I say, man, like I feel like I've been blessed to like be able to go, what they say in the Bible says, walk through the valley, the shadow of darkness. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's a real place, right? And that when you walk through there, some people get caught in there because it's so dark. But some of us actually have a light. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm one of those people. You may be one of those people, you know what I'm saying? That's able to like shine that light in there. But that light only shines so far, right? It only captivates only a certain path. Yeah. It only where you shine it. Yeah. You might be able to make it through. I made it through. You know what I'm saying? And I'm able to come back in and show other people. But they gotta be willing to like take your hand, you know what I'm saying? Or whatnot. But as far as that goes, I've seen possessions, you know what I'm saying, happen. I've seen people have to go to like psychic evaluations. I've seen people like go out of their mind. I've seen people have past life regressions where there's two spirits in them as well as them. Mm-hmm. You know, that means it's three. Yeah. Inside, jumping in and out, trying to use that body, but also don't even understand what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, I've saved people's lives from not even like knowing who they were. You know, it's like I'm trying to be vague, but without trying. But what I'm saying is that I could do exorcisms. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that stuff is real. Like we don't understand everything is going on all at once around us. There's layers of realities going this way and this way, that way. This way, they all around. It's like a big knot, you know what I'm saying, the realities that we wrapped in. Mm-hmm. And so like even me and you sitting here, there's some other beings probably having a podcast in this same room, but in a whole different way. They on that side of the room, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so like if you was in here and on some really heavy medicine, it would just thin the veil for you to see that. You know, even in the Quran, they talk about the jinn, you know, living in the same space we live in, but they live in a world of smokeless fire. You know what I'm saying? But, like, that's just how we perceived it when we was on a certain frequency. Yeah. They might not even look like smokeless fire, but we just couldn't see them because that vibration wasn't able to be held It's like we seeing everything solid, but it's actually really moving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like all about the perception of everything.
Yeah, it's the frequency that we seeing things on. You know what I mean?
Mouthful right there, man. I hope y'all tapping in, man. I really hope y'all tapping in.
I hope that I'm staying on subject.
No, you good. No, but it's all valuable though. You know what I'm saying? To somebody. So, I want to get into your first shroom trip, your first one.
Oh,
what was that like? Only because I got people who, when I tell them I done shroom, they be like, bro, I'm scared. I don't know. Somebody want to know what was your first shroom trip like? I'll tell you how mine was, and we can get into it. Yeah. So what was your What was your first shroom trip like?
So I was with my boy Qatar, my boy Trail.
Yeah.
My baby mom, we didn't have a child at the time though. Qatar had his girl.
Mm-hmm.
We all was childless at this time, but now we all got children except for my Trail. My Trail was with himself, and it was all of us, and we had hopped the fence and went to Stone Mountain, and we went up there at night. I'm talking about it probably was like 10 at night, and we was eating the mushrooms on the way up the mountain. At night, right? And so like we got to a certain part of the mountain where like you could see the whole city, and we were just chilling there waiting on them to like kick in. You know what I'm saying? We was listening to music and stuff, burning incense, and then I remember specifically where I was holding the incense, and I was doing this, and I seen it trail, and that was like the light trail, not the smoke, but the light. And I was like, then I went like this, and it was a complete circle in front of me, and I was like, whoa. And that's when it started hitting me, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I was like, yo, I'm literally looking at a circle I'm making, but it's like, I'm not even moving this thing. Like, I wasn't doing this.
Yeah, I
was just doing this. And the light was trailing so much that, So anyway, it hit me like that. Then I said, hey, y'all, I think I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody was like, oh, yeah, it's starting to hit. And then it just started hitting harder. And I looked out over the city, and the city started breathing. I could see, I was like, yo, the city's alive. I could just see Atlanta doing this. And then next thing you know, I looked up in the sky, and there was these beings.
Beings?
Yeah, people.
People, yeah, for
They
sure.
was tall, and they had eyes, nose, mouth, and they just looking at me, smiling. And they was just kind of like over like a dome. And that's when I was like, yo, it's smiling faces up in the clouds. You know what I'm saying? And we was just up there the whole time tripping, man. It was a good experience. Wow. It was a really good experience. Then we came back, and I sat down on a tree stump, right? And when I sat down on that tree stump, I seen the whole life of that tree, from when it was a seed to when it grew up, and it got all tall, and then somebody came and cut it down, and all the other trees around it was sad. And I had to get up, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I actually felt the sadness too, you know what I'm saying?
That when start trying to go into like a bad trip or just sad
No,
trip?
it wasn't a bad trip. It was just like,
sad, yeah.
I be felt like trees and stuff like that, they really be want to communicate with us. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they have so much that they seen, and they want to share that so that we can fix things. You know what I'm saying? But they don't know how to communicate with us. Maybe sometimes you might be walking through the woods and you might get like a vision in your head or a picture, you know what I'm saying, that you wasn't even trying to think about. Most of the time, that's trees. They send us like images and pictures in our brains, but like they can't talk with words.
Yeah, that's. Whew. So yours sound like yours definitely more like prophetic. You know what I'm saying? Like just as far as like what you got from it. Mine was like that too. Mine was more because when I took it, I was not outside. I think that was my first mistake.
That's the first mistake.
That's my first mistake. and when I took it, I did make sure I said I'm gonna make sure because I had a balcony at my apartment at the time, and I was in front of a tree. So I said I'm gonna sit out there and everything. And of course I took them. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just out here really just be chilling. Like I ain't even going in the crib. End up going in the crib. Yeah. I don't know why I did that, but that's when it hit me though. And when it hit me, that first 3-4 hours, and I'm gonna let y'all know I took like 5. It was like 5-6 grams, so I ate it at one time. Got it, and I was like, damn. I don't know, like just so I try to get on YouTube and try to put on some binaural beats, some type of something to give me make sure it stay cool in the crib. Which the crib I had was peaceful actually, because it was just me out there. Nobody really know where I would stay at, but I just want to make sure. But none the least, I ended up feeling very overwhelmed with emotion. I'm not an emotional person. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm learning to better to be more like in tune with that type of stuff, but I wasn't at all. Definitely not way more. I was definitely more inside than I was when I took the shroom. So I started crying harder than I've ever cried in my life. I don't think I cried like that. My brother had passed. And I was just, it was crazy. I was laying down, like I walked in the house. I don't know why I walked in the house. I don't know why did I walk in this house? I felt like I was at the time I was thinking, I'm like, damn, it's because I came in here, the energy back in here, and so I laid down. I heard this from Oski told me this, and La told me this one time. She's like, I just lay on the ground. It's great, like just kind of stay. So I did that, still crying, and I was just like, I didn't know what I was crying for. It wasn't no reason. Like everything was good.
It was a purge.
Yeah, and I think that's what it was, because I cried so hard, bro, and it got worse, like for like a good hour, 2 hours. A long story short, I ended up in my closet with my gun, and I was just crying,
contemplating,
not killing myself, no, but I was just like, I don't know, I felt like I was.
You was just like, if anybody come in here big while I'm crying, I'm gonna shoot your ass.
Hey man, look, bro. Let me tell you.
I know how it be though. Bro, I be on that same shit.
I don't know what's happening. Like, bro, I don't know if I feel like I had to protect myself. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, what in the hell? And then, like, I remember going like just kind of like the crying just stopped, and then it was like I said, it was like I feel like I was having someone was having a conversation with me, because I was praying like wild like that, but I was still crying. It was uncontrollable crying. And once I stopped, like I don't know, shit just got way, like my energy went like through the roof. Like I was happy than I have ever been in my life by myself. John Lee, if you watching this, you were gone, homie. I went through all this because my roommate at the time. My boy was gone. I made sure I did it when nobody was there though. Right. I said I ain't want to. They say have a sitter with you, and I do want y'all to get sitters. If y'all, I just did this, I was being stupid, but I probably would have been better if I had like somebody to guide me through it.
Maybe that was what you needed though, to be in isolation so that you could actually have that capacity to purge. You know what I'm saying? You probably wouldn't been do that with somebody around you consciously. A lot of times, motherfuckers around you while you tripping can mess around with your psyche. You know what I'm saying? Just off of they auras. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
You might even be like, man, I don't want to think about that right now. Yeah. But sometimes you just need to be in isolation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, probably what it was, bro. When I finally came out of that, I was just lit, bro. I'm talking about I walk around the crib, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, I'm a king. Like, I'm a king. Like, I'm gonna be successful, like everything, because stuff stopped seeming so bad. Now, of course, I don't think that was the end of it, but I think that was because I never had a really bad one after that. Everything after that, I just be thinking a lot. But that was the first one I was like, it wasn't even like horrible. I didn't have no hallucination of somebody dying, nothing crazy. I just had that, and then I did. You said people stuff breathing. I was thinking everything around me was breathing. And it's crazy. I didn't eat. Like I had no desire to eat the whole time. I ain't came down off them shrooms till I was like 12 midnight. I didn't come back down. I took them around like 1 something, like that day, like 12-1. I didn't come down till like about 1. I didn't eat that, and I didn't realize I didn't eat till I woke up the next day. Like, bro, I never really ate no food. I was just in my room. I spent a lot of time just like no music playing, no nothing, because Johnny was gone the whole day. Like I was just me in there. When I finally decided to get up, it was just like I felt lighter. I felt like I could think better. Stuff just didn't seem so bad. Like how I was like, I used to have like not gonna say I had a negative mindset, but I definitely had a mindset of like where, all right, boom. I think it's good to think like this, but I prepare myself for worse situations. But I think I lean more toward that thought of protecting myself in a bad situation. Like I wanted to make sure I'm prepared for bad. So I'm thinking about bad more than I'm thinking about the good that's going on currently. So yeah, so I definitely I came out of that all the way. Like it was just like, it was crazy. That was my shroom experience. How you said you saw, I wish I was outside, but mine was an indoor type of situation. I kind of
I got a question for you. So
What's
like,
up?
do you think that when you were purging like that, was that like suppressed emotions? Because most of the time that when I've dealt with people or been around something like that, or even myself, you know what I'm saying, I've had suppressed emotions come up, you know what I'm saying, that just be like, yeah, that has to come out. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you gotta throw up, you know what I'm saying? And you feel better after you throw up if you were drunk or something like that.
That's crazy. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you might have been suppressing all that. You said you didn't feel like that since your brother had passed. You know what I'm saying? That what you said?
No, I didn't feel like that even when my brother had passed.
See, when your brother passed, you was probably trying to hold that shit in too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when we go through times in life, a lot of times, you know, we be sweeping shit under our subconscious, just trying to truck through life, you know, cause you like, well, I gotta be the big bro now. I gotta be strong for everybody, and you know, you don't want to even focus on that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but in the back of your subconscious, that shit is still there, and it's growing, and it could turn you into a monster. You know what I'm saying? So like the fact that you was saying like you couldn't stop. And you was doing it for like hours type shit.
Bro, I swear to God, I was like,
years of purging that you did in like a psychedelic trance. That you really took years of purging and put it into a couple of hours. And that's how you were able to come out and be like, hell yeah, I feel good. You know what I'm saying? Because all that shit was really holding you down. You know what I'm saying? You probably never really even felt that happy until then. You know what I'm saying? Because you dealt with that shit. So that's why the medicine is good. You know what I'm saying? It's good for people like that don't want to look at themselves. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they need that self-reflection. You know what I mean?
Nah, for sure. That's definitely like, I believe it was definitely suppressed emotion. Like now, like looking back, I knew I was trying to, like I was fighting. Like I'm like, bro, stop crying. Like I'm trying. Like I'm like, bro, what is this? Like why am I? And I was just like, that's why I went to the realm of like, bro, somebody trying to come get me in my body. And somebody, like, that's why I went and grabbed my, you know, I had to grab this stuff. I'm like, what's happening? Like, I go in the closet, like, somebody coming for me or something? Why am I crying? I've never, ever in my life, I don't cry. You know what I'm saying? It's very rare that you see it. You know what I'm saying? Me and my mom probably never really seen it that much. You know what I'm
probably
so,
also dealing with the fear of death. You know what I'm saying?
Probably.
Because a lot of us
who knows,
haven't really actually done the work to actually think about death. You know, all cultures talking about death, you know what I'm saying, and transitioning, but like how many of us actually doing the work to transition though? You know what I'm saying? Right now we're living, we're doing all the work to fucking live. You know what I'm saying? Getting all this money, doing all these different things to feel great in this life, but what about the afterlife? What are you doing to prepare yourself for that? A lot of us we're not gonna want to give this shit up, and that's why we stay attached to this realm. A lot of things in this world make us keep coming back to this shit.
Yeah.
Because we done stopped doing the rites of passage of being a spiritual being. You know what I'm saying? We come here and become human beings. And then we keep being like, well, I like this human experience because I got to sex and eat and do all these different things. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, like, nah, bro, we need to be working on leaving this shit too. You know what I'm saying? Leaving it behind.
Yeah.
Like this word is just a bridge for entities to fuck around in.
Nah, for sure. Well, what you said, but that was definitely like I said, that was the most eye-opening experience for me. And you saying all that was definitely, like I said, more so because I thought about it. I never really forgot that trip. And I've done shrooms outside of that. Anytime else, I just get like I'm just chilling more so. I've always done it by myself.
Yeah.
But like just I just be more like in my thoughts about how to do stuff, like how to come. You know what I'm saying? How to be more of a better person for myself and for other people. Like that's how I'd always try to be, like, and navigating this. That's how, and I don't take it all the time. I'll tell you, I probably take shrimp quarterly. Probably not even quarterly. Probably like half and half. Like I take one at the beginning of the year, end of the year type of thing like that. I never take it like back to back. I feel like I never need it because like after that one, I took it back to back to back. Then after that, I didn't need it no more. So it definitely was an eye-opening experience for me though, bro. That's crazy, bro.
This shit like college, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to take, you only go to college for a certain amount of years. And after that, you use that knowledge that you learn in the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? So like,
for sure.
That's where we got, you know, a lot of people might have to cram, you know what I mean? And then you got people that be like, shoot, all I needed was one experience to like
switch the whole thing.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fact.
And some people, you know, are, I feel like, not necessarily all the way here where they're just vessels. You know what I'm saying? They just they create them, they use themselves to be hosts, you know what I mean, for other entities to come in. They allow that. So like they just be letting people walk through them You know what I mean? That's the people that you be like, man, something wrong with that person. You know what I'm saying? Because they not really themselves. They just a car for different spirits to jump in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I be telling people like, you gotta be careful when you start doing back to back to back to back. Because if you doing it back to back to back, why? Why are you doing
you abusing it?
Like,
now. You ain't even really
ain't getting nothing from this. You know what I'm saying?
It's like you just being high.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why I gave up the weed and stuff like that. Did you ever go like? Did you ever have to like face a time you went back to back, or you just kind of like you always knew not to do that, not to kind of like abuse it? Or
nah, I ain't never really been abused. I ain't gonna cap. Nah, I love LSD. You know what I'm saying?
I never took it. I ain't did it yet.
I can do LSD like every day. I ain't gonna cap. Like I've went a couple of summers where I've done LSD every day, and only because this is the thing. Like LSD is what I call like the fun uncle. Mushrooms is like yo mama. You know what I'm saying? Ayahuasca like your grandmama. You know what I'm saying? But LSD is your fun uncle. You know? And what I mean by that is like, y'all gonna be like, oh, what? You trying to make some money? Okay. Here's an idea. Bam. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you don't like that idea? Well, here, try that out, young blood. You know, like that's LSD be like, yeah, I got hella shit for you. It's like clay. Yeah. It's like whatever you want it to do, it'll do it. You know what I'm saying? So like when I learned how to actually use it, remember I was talking about if you focus on a thought for 20 minutes, like LSD allow you to focus on a thought for 20 minutes. Like I can hold the image of the Empire State Building in my brain and focus on every fucking detail of it with that shit. Yeah. Like I can manifest a business with it. You know, like it's like that. It's very malleable. So it's like when I learned that, I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm about to experiment with this shit. And so like I developed a lot of things on it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things I'm doing today and the way I move is because of LSD. A lot of my music I made on LSD, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I will say that I kind of did abuse that, but it's because I learned how to wield it, like, and I never let it, like, make me go crazy, you know what I'm saying? For sure. Some people will go out of this world and they'll, like, lose themselves, you know? But you gotta have strong willpower, you know? You gotta have some strong ancestors and some spirits with you that you can't, because you get knocked out, and this thing you know, you trying to figure out why you can't use your body no more. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't here no more. That dude did everything with you while you wasn't in your body, and now it's of no use to it no more. And so it left you, and now you can't even use your body no more. You know? So we gotta be conscious of these type of things. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. Ooh, but you said a mouthful. Like, to just to wrap it up though, I want you to talk to the people and just tell them like, what do you want people to remember about Baba Sol? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, of who you are, the combination, everything you told me, from the drugs to the jail, from here, you done did some great things since then as far as helping people. What do you want people to know about you? Your message to the people.
Well, just know that I'm here for the healing of the people, man. I'm always keep it 1,000. You know, I'm not one of those yes men, so you might, you know, not understand what I'm saying, but it's always gonna be truth. I'm not that emotional about what I'm saying. I'm very logical. I got this book out here I dropped called Wisdom and Philosophy on Intuitive Energy Work, that if y'all need to know the real stuff that's about that healing, tap into that, you know what I'm saying? Come see me at my sweat lodge, you know, and know that it's demons out here that'll try to take you over and your family. They will try to abuse you in all kind of ways and make you think that you got things going on in your life, but just keep with your creator, you know what I'm saying? I want everybody to like create a strong foundation with creator, because that's really what's gonna save everybody out here in this world when it comes to this spiritual warfare that's going on. Cause I know y'all seeing all the physical stuff going on, but it's really all spiritual, you know, when it breaks down. So I just want everybody to keep that first. Keep God first. You know what I'm saying? Then get with your angels and your ancestors after that. You know what I mean? And stay in tune with nature. I'm going to help y'all stay in tune with nature. As long as y'all come out here on these plant walks, I'm going to be dropping books. I got a lot of big things coming up that I ain't going to say, but, you know, I'm going to be working with some colleges soon and all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm here for the long haul, but I'm also going to go off grid on y'all ass one day. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you better get this information while I'm still in your vicinity. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That's just being real, because I already know God got a plan for me. You know what I'm saying? That I seen the mission. You know what I'm saying? Like, who I am today, like I told you, I seen that person way back then. Right now, right here, bro. This ain't nothing short than serendipity. It ain't no coincidence. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we doing, everything you being in the position where you at. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people that we are crystals and we shine a light. The same light that come from Creator into each other. So, like, we just got to turn at the right position so that prism effect happens and it shine through me into you. You know what I'm saying? And then you turn in the right position and it shine in the bro over there. And then he do the same thing and we just keep shining that same light to the same people. You know what I mean? Not the same people, but through the right people.
Through the right people, for sure.
And we create a grid of light. You know what I'm saying? That's how we change shit. You know what I mean? For real.
Solid words, man, from Baba Soul, man. I got one more question for you, though, bro.
Yeah.
One lesson you learned from your from a setback in your life. Just one lesson from one, like, the setbacks that you either you talked about or one that you haven't really got a chance to talk about. Just one very prominent lesson you learned from a setback.
If you don't learn from that setback, it's gonna hit your ass again, and you're gonna have to learn it again. And if you don't learn it that time, it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass again. And maybe you'll learn it that time, you know what I'm saying? But, like, that's what I really learned, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
If you don't learn that lesson the first time, you're going to have to keep on trying to learn it. It's kind of like the Saturn return, you know what I'm saying, coming through. All the things that you wasn't thinking about when you was 15 all the way through 25, it's going to start hitting you when you was 27 through 32, 33, you know what I'm saying? Them things going to be real prominent. So, like, yeah, that's what I'm going to say, man. Go ahead and go ahead and learn them lessons.
Nah, fact. Y'all heard it here first, man. Tell the folk where they can reach you at, man. Your camera right there.
You can reach me at baba.sol.official on Instagram. You can Google my name, Baba Soul, on any platform or whatever. I got this book out. It's some African dude out there now trying to be Baba Soul, but I've been Baba Soul for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry about him. You know what I'm saying? Let him do his thing. It's cool. It's cool. But what I'm going to say is y'all find me on all streaming platforms anywhere. And shoot, come see me sometime out here in Atlanta while I'm still here, because I might be moving to Jamaica or something like that soon. You never know, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Y'all heard it here, man. Yeah. Tap into my boy Baba Soul. This has been a great episode, man. Y'all can find me on all platforms at Who Is Realer. You can also find the podcast at Don Diallo TV. I just want to say thank y'all, man, for liking, sharing, subscribing. As I keep on doing, hit the like button. And brought to you by Gate7 Studios. I'm your host, Big Realer. This is the Don Diallo Podcast, and we are gone.